Boruto to Vortex Chapter 5 spoilers are out, and this month we just have the raw Japanese scans and no English translations yet. So as a non-Japanese reader, I thought it would be fun to try and guess what's happening on some of these pages without any context. So the cover page is of Sasuke, and the chapter starts off with a flashback of when Boruto is training with Sasuke, and he already has the sword in the Sasuke-like outfit by this point. Now while talking to Sasuke later that night, Sasuke says something that seems to be troubling Boruto as he looks startled and is starting to sweat. And then we see Boruto and Sasuke on the run, and then it cuts to Boruto and Sasuke versus Code, where it appears that Sasuke was actually the one who gave Code his scar, which is absolutely ridiculous given that Code is stronger than Jigen, who was stronger than Naruto and Sasuke combined even before they got nerfed, let alone afterwards, and Code also has his Claw Grime army with him too. So unless Boruto is already OP by this point and he really carried Sasuke here, I find it funny that he actually did more damage to Code than he ever did to Jigen, even though Sasuke is weaker than he was in the Jigen fight, and Code is stronger than Jigen. But anyway, Boruto and Sasuke are surrounded by Code and his army, and Sasuke looks back at Boruto and tells him something before charging in with his Chidori-infused sword. And based on Boruto's reaction, I'm guessing Sasuke says something along the lines of, "I'll distract him, you get as far away from here as possible," or "I'll take him down and protect you even if it costs me my life." And in the aftermath of this battle, it looks like Sasuke managed to take down all but one Claw Grime, which ultimately bit Sasuke in the end, resulting in Sasuke becoming a tree. Boruto then takes Sasuke's sword and uses it as his own. We then cut to the Leaf Village where it's revealed that Moegi has also become a tree, just like I said would be the case last chapter. I told you guys that the girl Claw Grime lady was Moegi and not Delta or Eida or whoever else. The Earth-style gravel jutsu doesn't lie, folks. We then cut to those Claw Grime Divine Tree people who are hanging out in some unknown location with a bunch of tree roots. Perhaps it's a location underground where all of the Claw Grime Divine Tree roots connect to each other and ultimately form these Divine Tree people. And the Jigen looking guy seems to be leaning against one of Ishiki's cubes, which just further solidifies my prediction that this guy is like a Jigen or Ishiki tree and was formed from the Ten Tails' main body, as the other Claw Grime people also shared the same abilities as the person they look like. And I mean, just look at this panel. How can you not see Jigen when looking at this guy? Meanwhile though, Eida is watching this scene with her Senrigan, and I have absolutely no idea what they're talking about other than maybe where to find some Otsutsuki to devour, or what they plan to do with their newly awakened awareness or whatever. But I'm curious to see how much their personalities differ based on who their trees are based on. Now what's by far the most interesting part of this scene though, is how the bug tree notices Eida behind him and walks up to her and speaks to her, which absolutely shocks Eida, and you can see the beads of sweat on Eida's face as she tells Damon about it in private. We then cut back to the Leaf Village, where we finally see Amado for once. And he's just working in his office with Sumire. Nothing crazy. He's not dead, he's not in jail, he didn't defect from the Leaf Village, he's just doing what he was doing before. Now Amado and Sumire probably share some important dialogue where Amado says something sus like usual, but I can't read Japanese, so I have no idea what kinds of sus things Amado says. All I know is that Sumire thinks about Amado's words from the past at some point, and she also has a bead of sweat on her face from listening to Amado, and Sai does not look impressed at all as he's watching and listening to this entire conversation. So Shikamaru probably set up security cameras to keep an extra close eye on Amado's every move. I'm very curious to see what Amado says in this chapter though, as I definitely expect him to say something suspicious. Hopefully something that indicates whether or not he was actually affected by Eida's omnipotence or not. Sumire and Sarada then talk to each other in private, seemingly about this Amado conversation, or about Sasuke, or about Boruto, or perhaps something else. And then Boruto shows up, and Sarada gives him a big hug, and that's how the chapter ends. So this definitely looks like a pretty cool chapter. It's probably going to be my favorite chapter of part 2 so far from the looks of it, based on the Claw Grime and Amado scenes. But overall, the chapter looks really good from start to finish. But I want to hear what you guys think. First, are you with me that the Claw Grime guy is related to Jigen or Ishiki somehow? Second, how do you feel about Bug interacting with Eida through her Senrigan vision? Third, how do you feel about Sasuke most likely being the one who gave Code his scar? Fourth, what do you think Sarada is telling Sumire about when she's referencing that scene of when she told Sasuke to help Boruto when she awakened her Mangekyo Sharingan? And fifth, what suspicious things do you think Amado says in this chapter? Do you think it relates to his master plan, or do you think it indirectly reveals whether he was affected by omnipotence or not? Do you think it's something else, Or do you think he says nothing suspicious at all for once in his life? Let me know in the comment section below, but that's a wrap on today's video, so thank you guys for watching until the end.
You're already under my genjutsu.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, check out my podcast channel, check out Peak Fiction, become a member, and hit the bell icon for notifications.
Sorry, Sasuke. Maybe some other time.
Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.